and do the entire Trans-Catalina Trail in the Grand Canyon. My first ever triathlon. I have booked a Via Ferrata climb. Today I'm in Montgomery Bell State Park here in the state of Tennessee, and I'm doing a 10-mile loop hike. It is called the Montgomery Bell Loop. It's the longest trail here in the state park. We're gonna see 2 or 3 lakes, some running water, some creek crossings, etc. And not only are we gonna do a hike today, but as always, to start the new year off with the first video, I am going to go over my plans for 2024. And by the way, I hope you're having a wonderful start to the new year. Happy New Year to you. If I didn't say that earlier, I don't think I did. But yeah, I'm really excited. So let's enjoy the views, enjoy the hike. It's gonna be a long one today, but it's a pretty easy, moderate hike with some just rolling ups and downs. So excited to share my plans. We got some big things planned here in 2024. Third stream crossing in the last, I don't know, 5 minutes. It's pretty fun. The water is not super crazy, so these are pretty easy, but I always enjoy a nice creek crossing. Okay, before we go over the 2024 adventure schedule on this YouTube channel, I did want to say one thing, and that is just thank you. Thank you for subscribing, whether it was last week or 5 years ago or 6 years ago when I started this channel. We grew over 100 subscribers last year. And for this channel, that's a big deal because as you can see, I think I have like 500 subscribers. So for a relatively small channel, it's a big deal, and I'm very grateful because I started this YouTube channel to show my adventures and do what I want to do. And yeah, I could sit here and do gear review videos and long road trip videos, which seem to do the best. I mean, those get thousands of views. And the road trip videos I really enjoy. The gear videos is not really my style, but I know if I did them, I would probably grow this channel more and more. But that's not what I'm going to do. That is not what I really enjoy doing. I'm still going to show the gear, review some stuff that if I add something to my pack or whatever, we're going backpacking or even day trips like this. I'm going to continue to do things that I enjoy to do because I want to grow the channel authentically, organically, and that way the people who subscribe, the people who like, continue to come back like you guys. So I just want to say thank you. It was a really good year. It was the best year so far on the YouTube channel. Absolutely crushed it from a watch time standpoint and from a subscriber standpoint. So I'm really glad that people are catching on and are really enjoying these adventures, hopefully getting some valuable information, because it's not just to entertain or show you what I'm doing in my life, but it's also to, share adventures so that way you can come out here and do this. And if you wanted to enjoy this hike, if you're in the area, you could enjoy the Montgomery Bell Loop Trail that I'm doing today. That's why I started doing this channel. So let's keep hiking, and then we'll get to the plans for 2024. But now I wanted to go over the 2024 plans. First, I'll get to the guarantees. Obviously, barring any kind of health issues or something like an emergency, these are the things that will be definitely happening. They're already actually booked here in the first week of January. And I'll go over the first one, which is my big highlight. And that is a rim to rim to rim hike in the Grand Canyon. So I planned this thing. I don't even have the backcountry site yet, but I did win the lottery, and my time slot is at 8 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time on January 31st. So I don't know any of the logistics or details yet, but I am going to attempt a rim to rim to rim hike at the Grand Canyon. At first, I was just going to do rim to rim, so south rim to north rim, for instance. But then I thought, there's like 8 million people that visit that park every year. And only 1% of those attempt a rim to rim. So like south rim to north rim or north rim to south rim. An even smaller percentage attempts a rim to rim hike. So of course I wanted to really challenge myself. And I think I'm gonna go for a rim to rim to rim. So I'm probably gonna do south rim to north rim, back to south rim. I'll do it in 2 or 3 days. There are people who attempted to do it in 1 day. Ultra runners is who does that. But I'm going to backcountry camp and all of that, so it'll be a little safer, but still a little nervous. And I will have an out. And what I mean by that is, if I get over to the north rim and don't think I can finish, to get back to the south rim, I can take the shuttle. I'll figure out some things, but I'm going to have an out just in case of an emergency. But the plan is right now, rim to rim to rim. That's the big highlight. That's in May. And again, logistics on that will come at a later date. The second big thing, which is the following month in June, I'm not sure I'll share it on here on the YouTube channel. Maybe if I do an end of the year, video in December, maybe I'll share bits and pieces of this. But I am going to be doing my first ever triathlon, and I'm doing an Olympic distance triathlon. So basically it's a 1 mile swim, a 25-mile bike ride, and then a 10K run, which is 6.2 miles. I'm doing that down in Chattanooga, and that'll be in June. In July, I have booked a Via Ferrata climb in West Virginia. So in middle or late June, I'm going up to West Virginia to celebrate my cousin's wedding. And before I get up there, I'm going to Circleville, West Virginia, and there's this company called N Rocks. And they do Via Ferrata climbs with groups of like 6 people. And I am already scheduled to do one. So it'll be my first Via Ferrata climb. And if you're not familiar with what a Via Ferrata is, it's a type of hiking mainly in Europe. They have a lot of things in like the Dolomites and like Swiss Alps and stuff like that. They're basically bars that go into the rock, that are bolted into the rock, and you have 2 cables kind of dangling down here and that you will latch onto. So it's not like true rock climbing, but it is a type of rock climbing, and I'm really excited. I've never done anything like that. So those 3 things I can tell you right now, they are booked, they are guaranteed. Here are the things that I am still working on. So I would like to do a through hike in April and do the entire Trans-Catalina Trail out on Catalina Island in California. I'm working some details and logistics out with that. It's a very expensive trip. Obviously you got to book the flight, and you have to take a ferry there and back. You have to book the campsites, which are extremely expensive. They're like, I think, $34 for each campsite. And it's a difficult trail in the sense of there's a lot of ups and downs, and, it's about a 40-mile hike. So I'm working on that. I would like to do that in April. Oh, I also forgot, I do have another guarantee. It's a small trip, but I'm doing the volunteer trail up in close to Nashville and Percy Priest Lake. I'm going to backpack that in April as well. So there's a lot before we get to that Olympic triathlon. Also working on a potential Mount Whitney climb. Of course, I'll start to get the lottery. I do that on February 1st, the morning of, and I won't know until March 15th. So really hope to do a Mount Whitney climb maybe in August or September. And if not, I do have some backup plans to go to the Sierras, whether it's Yosemite or Big Pine Lakes, which we've done on this channel before, and kind of backpack that. That would be really cool. And also, I have an idea for Idaho. So one of those 3 ideas will probably come true. I'm probably not gonna do all 3. It's very expensive to do all 3 of those if you're gonna backpack and fly and rent a car and all that. But that'll be later in the year. So we'll see. Obviously, first priority would be Mount Whitney. If I win that, I'm going for it 100%. It's one of the most difficult permits to get in the United States because it is the tallest mountain in the lower 48. So that is something that is literally top of the bucket list before I start venturing out of the country and doing some other things that are on my bucket list later on. Hopefully, if I can stay healthy and live a enjoyable life like I have the last few years doing this YouTube channel. So, yeah, I think that's it for now. I have some other things. I'm not going to talk about those yet. I have some other things that are up in the mind and on a Google Doc at home. Again, trying to get some of these other logistics figured out because those are the top priority. There are definitely going to be other things interspersed in there, but I did want to go over the big highlights. So super excited. We got Grand Canyon, we got Via Ferrata, we got the Olympic triathlon, we got a backpacking trip here just in Tennessee, up on Percy Priest Lake that is already booked. I actually already got a campsite for that. Also, I do want to mention one other thing that's potential. It probably isn't just potential, it's probably a guarantee. I would like to definitely go back out to the Smoky Mountains because that backpacking trip was just fabulous. So I'll probably do that late October this time. I did it the first week of November. The leaves a lot of them had already, fallen. It was still beautiful, but I kind of want to do that a week or 2 before. So that is probably a guarantee as well, I guess. But those are pretty easy to plan. It's just a 4-hour drive out to the Smokies. So we just have to book the backcountry sites, which there's always workarounds with that. So there's the 2024 plans. Really looking forward to it. I think I'm 5, 6, 7 miles into this hike. I talked for 7 minutes, but I just wanted to go over the plans, and now we will finish up the hike and finish up the day. I really hope that you're looking forward to seeing some of the adventures that I have planned because I'm super, super looking forward to everything, especially that Grand Canyon trip. Cannot wait until I wake up January 31st and schedule, get my backcountry sites. Really excited. So, all right, let's keep hiking. Let's finish off the day. Okay, over there is one of the lakes. It doesn't have a name on all trails, and you can barely see it, but it is over there. Before we finish up these last 2 or 3 miles, I did take a side spur trail to show you one of the shelters. So it's about a half mile off the trail, and this one's called the Woodland Shelter. Earlier, when I did a creek crossing, there was a shelter called Wildcat Shelter, but there were a couple people snacking, and I didn't want to take video of that, so I didn't really shoot any of that shelter. But I think it's be really cool because it kind of gives you like an Appalachian Trail feel, with all the shelters and stuff. So you want to come out here and backpack this thing, you could do that as a good practice session before heading out on a much crazier adventure if you're going to do a backpacking trip. So this is obviously not as well maintained. You can barely see the trail, but I'm going to head out here and show you what one of the shelters looks like so that if you wanted to come out and backpack this thing, you could, and you could stay in one of the shelters instead of, pitching a tent. Kind of see just how back in the woods we are going out to this shelter. That's pretty cool. There's no other trail that leads out here, so I think this would be a really private spot if you wanted to come out here and camp. Definitely has a big time backcountry feel to it with no other trails around, and just how, I guess, less maintained this one is. We're almost there. Oh, that's so cool. Woodland shelter. Huh. This definitely has an Appalachian trail vibe to it. That's so cool. You could literally come out here and backpack this thing. You got a fire ring. You can sleep in a shelter. Over here, I think there's even like a little privy, like a little bathroom area. You just gotta be careful because there's just like a lot of thorns. It's not very well maintained or anything, but yeah, there's like I guess an outhouse over there. Huh, that's really cool. If I'm being honest, the Wildcat shelter earlier wasn't as private, but you did have a stream that was flowing, which was really nice, where those waterfalls were earlier when I crossed them. But this one gives you a ton of privacy. I mean, you're at least over a half mile probably off the main trail, and there's no roads or anything around, and you have a fire pit and all that. So this is really nice. Be a cool spot to put your sleeping bag in and sleep in. I mean, you'd be protected from any kind of rain or snow. So. Okay, I've made it down to the second lake. Much better view than we got earlier at that first lake. I think I'm gonna go down here off trail, see if we can get a better view of the lake. Okay, I made it down here to the lake. Again, it doesn't have a name, at least on the All Trails map, so I'm not sure if it actually is called anything, but it is a lake, and it is really, really pretty. Road crossing number 4 on the day in a residential area here at Montgomery Bell now. There's a cemetery over there, and the Montgomery Bell Trail continues here, and I think there's about a mile left, so trekking along. A lot of fun. I've seen a couple of pretty hardcore hikers out here training. Just briefly stopped and talked to them, and they are training for a Smokies trip as well as a Savage Gulf State Park trip, so a little bit more rugged hiking in those areas, of course, in the Great Smoky Mountains, and of course Savage Gulf is pretty rugged too, so it's a good way to start the year off. It's a fairly moderate, I mean, for me it's an easy trail, but for a lot of people this would be a moderate trail because there is some ups and downs, and it's a long one, but it's really enjoyable. So Woo! Finish it up. There's the car. Great day of hiking. Hope you enjoyed the Montgomery Bell Loop Trail that I did today. Final stats, 11.8 miles hiked. I gained over 1,257 feet of elevation, and I hiked for 4 hours and 5 minutes. A lot of fun. Great way to kick off the 2024 hiking and adventure and backpacking season here on the YouTube channel. Really looking forward to everything that this year has to offer. Until the next one, guys, I'll see ya. Peace.